Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and it is another gas day. This always sneaks up on me unexpectedly. I spend most days just having this vaguest of thoughts. I only did gas recently, and definitely not that today. And then every so often I am reminded somewhere at the back of my head, just check. And I did that today, 5 days ago, gas. So it's a gas day. You would think I had a better schedule planned, wouldn't you? You might think that. I did notice that over the last 4 days, it's all been nature-based puzzles, which was great, since the last gas, in fact. In some way, anyway. It was a little bit loose, I think. We had the butterfly, we had the lonely shepherd's hut, we had the black sheep, and something else that I struggled in my mind to connect to nature. But anyway, today we have, Simon had the great outdoors in his rather brilliant Jane Street puzzle hunt solved. Do check that out if you haven't seen it already. It's excellent. Talking of other things that you may not have seen, I saw this headline on the BBC today. Brain power dropped among over 50s during COVID-19 pandemic, study shows. Well, what I'm going to tell you is that amongst the over 50s who watched Cracking the Cryptic, I believe it did not drop. I believe it increased and improved. And I'm going to quote my result from the World Sudoku Championship as evidence of that, which it can't be because it's only comparing with other over 50s. I do know that. But I do think one of the ways to stave off brain problems, if not always mental health problems, but perhaps, is to watch the channel. And I'd be very interested in your anecdotes on whether you think your brain power has improved since watching the channel, or indeed gone the other way. Anyway, let me know about that. Now, today we are going to be doing gas. That is genuinely approachable Sudoku. It appears on the daily Sudoku channel of the Discord server, where you will find puzzles each day by Bill Murphy, Philip Newman and Clover, the gas giants, who publish those every day, and they are great fun. These are puzzles that kind of are either introductory to the rules of Sudoku or easier versions of the harder puzzles that we will more normally do on the channel. But they're very well worth a go, and there are hat times available. Notional party hats are awarded, 1 for a quick time, 2 for a quicker time. And if you can't get those, you can at least get a dinosaur. And I will be reading out the blurbs for all the puzzles, and then I will be solving them one at a time against the clock and seeing how I do against those notional times. And meanwhile, don't forget that you can set yourself a slightly stiffer challenge with Demono's Solver in Sudoku Land hunt on our Patreon. It dropped yesterday. We're getting a lot of correct entries. Well done to those people who've achieved it already. Fabulous work. But there are many, many more to come in, and we hope you will be amongst them. Give it a try. Join us on Patreon. It's well worth it. There's a lot of good stuff. And you can also get our apps. There are 2 gas apps of 60 puzzles each by these same authors. If you like the gas, get the gas apps. I think it's £3, maybe $3 for 60 puzzles. You can't beat value like that. You literally can't. These puzzles are so good that I will enjoy doing them today. So I'm going to now go through the blurbs where they were written up on the Discord channel about a month ago when these were first posted. And we're going to start at the very beginning, as Julie Andrews would want us to, with Gas 846 XV Sudoku. Well, I can see what's going on here. Today's gas... Oh, no, I couldn't see what's going on. Today's gas is also a pair-up Sudoku. That's right, it's the people's favourite XV Sudoku with my favourite, a negative mindset. Wait. Today's gas is an XV minus Sudoku. Yes, this puzzle was directly inspired by a joke of how can we make it more obvious that a negative constraint alarm applies. So I thought I'll just put the digits into the grid in this particular arrangement so you can see the digits in the grid spell out an X and a V, which is very clever. But there is a rule that you need to know. Normal Sudoku rules apply, and that for each of the puzzles we do means 1 to 9 will appear in every row, column, and every 3x3 box. But in this puzzle, adjacent cells That's any two like that or like that. Must not sum to 5 or 10. So you can see that those two don't, and those two don't. They add up to 11. Those two add up to 12. Those two add up to 13. And that rule will be followed rigorously throughout the puzzle, where no... What's going on with the letter tool? Where no pairs will add up to 10 or 5. So big old negative constraint alert. The dinosaur is a dipressed, it says, diplodocus. Ah, no, that's the word I've always pronounced wrong, isn't it? Diplodocus, I believe, is more accurate. And then we go on to Philip's puzzle, first puzzle of the day, Full House. Philip says, we've reached the end of 1 to 9 September and we're a month away from No Theme November. So, welcome to Ideas I Had While Driving October. This may not be an actual thing, but hey, I might keep having ideas while driving. Today's guess is a killer Sudoku. See if you can figure out what idea I had in the car. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits and cages can't repeat, must sum to the total given. The dinosaur is a racing Rhyososaurus. And we will then try Average Arrows by Clover. Clover says, pretty ugly, jumbo shrimp, sweet sorrow. Those all sound to me like oxymora, if that's a plural. Today's guess is an average, or at least paradoxes. Today's guess is an Average Arrows Sudoku, which is to say it's exceptionally average. Perhaps its rules have been clearly misunderstood in the past. You can see what she's doing here. But whether you're an expert or an advanced beginner, keep your complaints to a dull roar while I explain with bureaucratic efficiency how to solve your way to an approximate solution without any minor catastrophes along the way. Very good. I like that collection of antonymous phrases. Normal Sudoku rules apply. The average of the digits along each arrow equals the digit in the attached circle. The average here is the arithmetic mean, of course. For instance, if a length 3 arrow contains 2, 4, and 9, I suppose that one could, then the attached circle would contain 5, which is 2 plus 4 plus 9 equals 15 divided by 3, 5. So 5 would be the average. So clearly that arrow doesn't contain 2, 4, 9. Note, all averages must be exact with no rounding. And if you're within 30 seconds of the 2 hat time, whatever that is, thank Bill. He requested a little bump for those of us who aren't mental math fans. The dinosaur is a bittersweet beryllium. And the next puzzle after that is Next to 9 Sudoku by Bill, who says, Happy Mean Girls Day to those who celebrate. So many days, that is a very weird day. Been stuck in a bit of a low, bit of a rut, bit of constructors block recently. It's fine, it happens to the best of us, and me too, hey-oh. But I honestly nearly missed it. Missed what, you say? It's now my 1-year anniversary of setting gas. Congratulations, Bill. Feels like you are part of the furniture to me, and a very welcome part as well. A nice, comfortable chair. Here's to many more puzzles, literally never learning from my mistakes and getting better looking with age. Yeah, good luck with that. Despite the writer's block, there's one thing I could always count on during the year, and it's my ability to clown on or with Philip. So today's guess is a next to 9 Sudoku. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Clues outside the grid give the digits adjacent to 9 in that row or column. And the dinosaur is a paper Parasaurolophus. And the 5th puzzle for the day is the Hokey Pokey by Philip. In today's edition of Things Mark Can't Show, which might entice those of you watching on YouTube to join Discord, that series, we need a snappier title for this, he says. One of my favourite comedy bits by one of my favourite comedians, Bill Bailey. I don't know what the bit is because I can't show it. But I expect it is very funny because Bill Bailey would be amongst my favourite comedians as well. Also, a happy birthday, Clover. I definitely remembered and did not just add this late. Today's guess is a sandwich Sudoku. Normal Sudoku rules apply. A number outside the grid is a sandwich clue. It tells you the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column, not including the 1 and the 9 themselves. This one has a bit of a math. Look at all those big numbers. So generous times today, the dinosaur is a noshing neosodon. Is that a real thing? Must be. They always are. And those are the 5 puzzles for today. I am just going to nip through them, turning off the letter tool, which has somehow got always... This seems to happen to me. It's got turned on. I so rarely turn the letter tool on. I don't really understand how this occurs, but there we go. And here we are with XV Sudoku, which I thought when I saw this puzzle, I just looked at the grid, I thought that's a classic Sudoku. So I feel there's plenty of clues given the XV rule. Anyway, give it a try. I am going to start now, see what my time is. Let's get cracking. So in this row 2, which has a lot of givens, let's make that a 6 in one of those cells. That's not that helpful. 8, 5, 6, 9's in one of those. Okay, let's think about the rule. 4 is in one of those. Let's see if I can rule something out with the rule. I can rule out 2 being there next to 8. 7, 7, that's just ordinary Sudoku. I haven't used the rule to get that 7. Just the digits given in the grid. 7, 1, 2. That can't be 8. So the 8 in box 2, well, it's in one of those 3 cells. Now that's a whole bunch, but it confines it in row 1. In fact, that enables me to find 8 in row 1 using the no X rule. 6, 8, 2, 7. So where's 1 and 4 aren't in those cells. They can't go together. So that must be 1 or 4, and it can't be 4 because of the 6 and the X rule. The 1 and the 4 can't go together because of the V rule. I mean, it's very neat, this. Already 3 can't touch 2, so 3 has to go there. So using the rule is definitely the best way to go. Yes, I can split up 5 and 9 because one of them's abutting a 1. That's now a 3, 6 pair. 3 can't go next to 2. That's a 4. I wonder how these get constructed. I assume you need to computer generate a no X, no V grid and then find the good clues. I don't know. 1, 2, 6. That I shall think about that in a moment again. 3, 5, 9 up there. 3 can't be next to 7. Now, what about here? 9 can't be next to 1. And here, 2 can't be next to 8. So that's a 1. 6 can't be next to 4. So it is really worth thinking about all of these as we go. There's a 1 by Sudoku that's been available since the absolute beginning there. These are from 5, 6, and 8. One of those is a 6. Sounds like scissor kicks. There's a 4 here somewhere. 1, 2, 9, 7, 4. 2, 6, 1, 7, 4. Okay, going a bit slower. One of these is a 4, can't be next to 6. That's been available from the start as well. 9, I don't know how. Oh, 9 and 2. Right, I can just place 2 in the box. Then I can place 9. This is now 1, 3, 7. 3 can't be next to 2. 1, 3, 7. That now can't be 3 or 9. That's a 5 in the corner. This is a 6, 8 pair, and 6 can't be next to 4. 1 and 3 here. 1 can't be next to 4 as well. 2, 5, 7 here. Now, there's going to be something. 2 and 7 both can't be next to 3. Sorry if I'm missing some negative constraints, but they're not easy to identify immediately unless you're really primed for it. 5, 3, 9, 1, 8. There's a 4 there. Oh, 8 in the row makes that a 6. Well, also, sorry if I'm missing just ordinary Sudoku moves. 4 and 7 there. There's a 4 down there and a 7 somewhere in the column there. That is 2 or 5, and it can't be 2 by the no V rule. So we're motoring now. Probably can finish row 4. 2, 7, and 3. That is a 3. That is a 2. Just Sudoku doing that for me. 5 and 9 here. Again, Sudoku. I'm just relying on Bill having set this up correctly. I'm not checking every single digit I put in for the rule, obviously. 4, 7 pair. This is 3, 8, 5, but 3 and 8 can't be next to 2, which is nice. 5, 3, 8, 1, 6, 9 here. I thought I was going to be able to fill all of those in, but it's just the 9. This is a 3, 5, 6 triple. I can do the 5. Oh, this is weirdly devolving into pairs. 4 and 8, I can do those. Both of them, in fact, were obeying the rule to get corrected. Now, 6 can't be next to 4. That's probably going to do the rest for me. 3, 1, yeah, 8, 3, 4, 7. There we go. 4 minutes 45 seconds. I check the time to see what the 2-hat time was, and it was 7.5 minutes. So fine for the time on that one. Excellent. Nice introduction to negative constraints, Bill. Now, here we go with Philip's Full House, and we're going to see if we can work out what idea he had while driving. Don't know, from just glancing at the grid. Let's restart the clock and let's get cracking. So we've got a 17 there is 9, 8, and a 6 is 1, 2, 3. That is 6 or 7. That is 4 or 5. I don't think I'm getting any big ideas at the moment, but let's just persevere for the time being. Ooh, 9, 7 there. So this is at most 8, 6. That's what it's got to be, because then that allows a 7 there. So this is a 4, 5 pair. I know which is which thanks to the 5 cage. 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 4. That is, 6 has to be there in this row. That is therefore 5. Goes with a 9. The bottom of the puzzle is definitely where to start this one. 1 can't be in this box outside the 8 cage. So that's a 3. That's a 4. This is now 7. That's 8. We've got a 3 in the corner, losing its religion. And we've only extended a couple of cells up from the bottom rows at this point. But we can do 1, 3 there, and 7, 8, 9 there. That's obviously a 2. Oh, look, there's a lot of symmetry going on. 9, 8, 6, 1, 3. Let's use the bottom. 5 can't go in the 10 cage, so it must go there. This is 2, 4, and 6. I can probably do this. Yes, there's no 1 in it, so it's 2, 3, 4, and the 2 must be outside box 1. 2, 3, 4. 2, 8. So now that's a definite 4, 6 pair. We've got a definite 8, 9 pair. That has to be 2 with a 5 here. We've got 7 and 5 to place in box 1. That's a 3, 4, 6 triple. I think it's going to have to be 6 in the 22 cage, correct? That can't be a 4 because of the number that goes with it. So that's become a 2. That's a 4 because of the 6, 8, 9 triple. 8 and 9 here. We need the 9 again to be in the 22 cage. 7 and 5. 8 and 6. That's a 1. Oh, I keep hitting the 4 key randomly. Right. Now that pair, yeah, I don't know. No, it can't be a 4, 1 pair because neither of them can go in that cell. So it's a 2, 3 pair. That fixes 2 and 3. This is now 8 and 2 in the final column. That can't be 2, 8 or 3, 7. 2 possible fills. Oh, I hadn't even seen that giveaway cell. 1, 2, they're done. 5, 7, 8, 1, 4, 3, 9. Now that is 6 or 9, which forms pairs in all sorts of ways in the row and the column. And I'm trying to use that. Yes, that's a naked single. I don't think I have come across Philip's intended method or the idea he had during this solve, but there we go. It was always a bit of a long shot potentially. But I think I have got through the puzzle fine. So 5, 4, I'd be very surprised if there's a mistake going on here. Another 6, 9 pair. That's 8, 9, 1, 8, 3, 6 pairs. 3, 7 pairs. Oh no, they're resolved by the 7 in row 6 already. And now we can do everything, come back to boxes 4 and 1 to finish. 6, 9, nice. We get a 5 there, and that should be it. 4 minutes exactly. The 2-hat time was 7.5 minutes again, so we're well in sight. Yeah, I don't know what the idea was. Was it something to do with this 10 cross, a crossroads in the middle? That might be a good idea to have while driving. Something about the 10 cross. Maybe there's a giveaway there. And are they not all different digits? Because, of course, that is a full 10 cage. I don't know. I mean, I'd be intrigued to find out, Philip. Anyway, there we go. That was the killer there. And now Clover's average arrows. Bit of maths needed in 2 of the last 3, I think. Let's get cracking. Right, 8 has to be the average of 7, 8, 9. 2 has to be the average of 1, 2, 3 if they're all seeing each other. So we can do the same down here. 1, 2, 3, and 8, 9, 7. Okay. Might be better to just do Sudoku. Let's finish off that box. What have we got? 2, 4, 5 here. That is 2 or 4. These have to add up to 9, so it can't be a 4. Yeah, that was good. Right. No, let's go down here. 2, 8, 6. I can fill them in. 5's on an arrow. 5, 6, 7, 1, 4. So this is a 6, 8 pair. I will think about the maths in a moment. That's 1, 7, 5. We get a 9 here. Maybe I won't think about the maths in a moment. I will complete what I can do by Sudoku because it's quicker. 4, 6, 2, 5, 3, 8, 1, 7, 9. Right, now these have to add up to 15, so they are 4, 5, 6 now. These have to add up to 21, and they've got a 4 on. That is actually quite useful. This is a 1 and a 7. Okay, we'll do the maths then. 11, 12. We need to add up the arrow. This arrow needs to add up to 18, so that's a 3. So 5, 6. This arrow is 9 because of 3. Really, it is the most elementary maths, or, you know, really basic arithmetic, which pleases me because otherwise it might get complicated. Now, these have to add up to 10 in this row. That must now be a 3, 7 pair in the row. 9 there, so I can finish this bottom row. Now I've just got boxes 2 and 3 to finish. 7, oh, I can do the 1 and 6 if I could spot the given digits in their black livery. 8, 2, 1 box to go. 3, 4, 2 and 1 at the top. There we go. 2 minutes 14. That is much quicker than all the others. Lots of arrows provided by Clover there. Very kind of her. And the time was 7 minutes, which I guess was bumped up for the maths. Are they mathsophobes? Maybe they're not. Anyway, let's try Bill's next to 9, which is non-maths. This is just positioning. Let's get cracking on this. So 9 has to be next to 7. 9 has to be next to 6. Let's use these perimeter 9s immediately. 8 there. Then, I mean, all the 9s are given. That really is quite a nice way of introducing us to next to 9 Sudoku. I'm just going to fill in the digits, basically, that all of these clues are telling me have to be next to 9. And then I'm going to consider what I've got after that, frankly. 6 and 7 there. I can see how they're not actually giveaways across most of the puzzle, because we don't know which of those is a 5, so we don't know if it affects that. Now there is a 9 missing. It's in the central cell. 6, 7 pair says that that's a 5. 6 there makes that a 2. I think this pencil mark, oh, there's a 4, 8 there I hadn't filled in. 7, 8 pair makes that a 6. 7 in box 6 makes that a 3. 5, 8 pair. This is working in every possible direction and affecting the cage, the boxes it reaches in every direction. Until I get here. Is there? Yes, there is. There's a 5 there. So that is done, and it does affect the final box. So that's all the central pluses completed. There's a 1-2 pair there, forcing 3 into the corner, proving its position there. 4 and 3, yes, all of these prove each other, and that's all the special clues done. The rest is classic Sudoku now. 6 and 5, 3 and 4. Box 1 is quite easily completed. Let's go down the column. 7, 8, 9 looks like they can be written. It's not 7, 8, 9. Even 7, 8, 6 can be written in though. That's a 4, 2, 3. Let's finish this box at the bottom if we can. 3, 2, 8, 5. That's a 3 in the row. 2, 1. Oh, I think we're going to get a decent time here as well. 1, 2. Unless I've made a mistake, and they do happen a lot. If you watch my gas, you'll know that. 5, 8, 3, 9, 2. But I think it's worth it most of the time for getting some of the puzzles done very fast and trying to get 2 hats wherever I can. I know that these value judgments don't sit the same with everybody. But there we go. 5 there, 2, 4, 8 to fill in, and with no mistakes, that'll be it. In another 2-minute time, 2-minute 41. I'm sure that'll get the 2 hats. The time required was 6 minutes 45, so that's quite low. Bill is, I think, acknowledging that that's pretty straightforward, but another nice idea. And a very generous way of presenting next to 9 Sudoku. You won't be as afraid of it next time you see that rule set, I feel. Now, the Hokey Pokey, the sandwich Sudoku from Philip. I don't know, yeah, why am I flicking? Okay, let's just get cracking. Now, 35 is the maximum sandwiched sum. So 1 and 9 go on the corners. In this column, there's an outie of 2. That's outside the sandwich because 35 minus 3 leaves 2. Hang on, the outie doesn't go there, it goes there because we've been given the 1. I will, at the end, tell you an interesting fact about sandwich Sudoku. 7 are the outies here. Now, 1 is in one of those cells. Is it worth colouring in this? No, I'm not going to. Let me just... All right, there's an outie of 4 in this row. And it's got to be there, because that sees 1 and 9. So 1 and 9 are in those cells. That one has to be a 9 because of the pencil marked 1 up there. That's quite useful, actually. Now, there's going to be a 9 in one of those. Establishing where the 9s and 1s are is very useful. Since 1 can't be there, the outie in this column is at the bottom. There it is. And then we have a 30. Now, that could have 2 outies, but they would have to be 2 and 3. So they can't both be there. So this must be a 1 or 9. But we could have a 3 there and a 2 there. Yeah, that's interesting. Or we could have a 5 as an outie there. So I don't know where 1 goes. However, I do know it doesn't go here from the 0 clue. Interesting. So that is a 2 and that is a 3. And the outies of 5 will make sure that those add up to 30. Now, 1 in this column has to be next to the 9. So we've done that clue, we've done this clue, we haven't touched the 15 clue. We've done that, we've done that. We haven't touched 8 either, so those are 8 and 15 at the bottom. Those have to add up to 15. They are 8 and 7. We've done the 31. We haven't done the 29. 9 can't be further right than that, further left than that. So it's 2 outies adding up to 6. We haven't done the 28. That's now definitely got 2 outies that aren't 2, 5, so there must be 3, 4. So we've still got the 15 and the 8 and this 23 to resolve, but I want to... Well, I was hoping to reduce to Sudoku. No, okay, let's look at the 8. 1 is going to have to go there, so the 8 is done. Now, that 1's in the 23. We need at least 4 cells, so we're going to put 9 there. The outies in that row will add up to 12. I'm just going to mark them. That's probably the easier way to think about the maths there. And then we've just got the 15 thing to do. Minimum for these two is 3 and 5. That's 8, making the maximum for this 4. So now this is... I was going to say it's either 3 and 5 or 3 and 6, but 3 and 6 would sit opposite a 3, so that's not what it is. It is 3 and 5, so that one is actually done now. So it's just the 15 clue left to do. In fact, can I position the last 1s and 9s in the puzzle? Maybe I can. 1 there, 1 there. This is just Sudoku. Yes, 9 there and 9 there. Right. So these two add up to 15 and they're an 8-7 pair. Okay, so I've used all the outside clues. 6 and 7 there. 7, 8. 9, 4, 2, that's a 6 by a naked single mechanism. That's an 8. Then we've got 5 and 7. 2 and 3, 6 are disambiguated by the pair. 5 and 4 here. 9, 3. One of these is a 2. No, let's look at the top row. 9, 6, 2, 1, 3, 4. These are from 5, 8, 7, forming a triple with that, which gives me at least a 4. 9, in fact, 7, 8 form a pair. Right, 7, 5, and that's now an 8. That's now a 7. That's disambiguating a lot of good stuff. 5, 8 there. This is a 6, 7 pair. 2, 4, and 6 to go in these cells. That was a bad place to look. 4 in the middle row. 2 goes there, then a 3, 5 pair. 8, 7, 6 in the rest of the box. That's now a 3, 5 pair. There's a surprising lot that I can't quite finish off here. Right, let's look down here. Yes, 5, 8 is done. There's a 6, 7 pair. That's a 4. This is now 6. That's going to finish column 6. 2 goes there. Not who goes there, but 2 goes there. Is 6 or 7. Now, let's look at this box. 8, 7 pair. They're done. 5, 6 pair. I can't do those. But the 7 looks up to a 6, 7 pair. The 4 at the top of the grid is putting a 3 in the corner, losing its religion. Now, here we have a 5 and a 4 and a 5 and an 8 and a 7 and a 6 and a 7 and a 6 and a 3 and a 5 and a 3. There we go. 5 minutes 45. And yet, I think I attacked that pretty much in the optimal manner. So I think Philip's just making puzzles a little bit harder than the other two this week. The time was 9 minutes, reasonably generous. I mean, that aligns with the idea that I thought this was probably the hardest puzzle of the set. I think it was. And especially if you weren't familiar with the outies involved in the numbers 35, 33, 32, etc. Now, the fact I was going to tell you about sandwich Sudoku is, if you're only using sandwich Sudoku as the only extra rule apart from classic, one of the givens has to be a 1 or a 9. And we see we got a 1 in this puzzle. And that's because otherwise you could never disambiguate those two digits. You could place them all. You could know which was one set and which was the other, but you could never tell which was 1 or 9 unless one of them is given to you, which is intriguing. But there we go. That's today's gas set. Great fun as always. I do like it when gas comes round, even if it sometimes takes me by surprise. But always enjoyable. Thanks to Philip, Clover and Bill. Well, congratulations again, Bill, on your year setting gas puzzles. Fantastic. Feels like you've been here longer than that, and that's a compliment. And thank you for watching, as always. We are very grateful for your time. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.